Hello and welcome to a deep dive into compositing with Fusion. Thank you so much for joining this course. Thanks for starting the journey towards in-depth Fusion skills, compositing skills. Welcome on board. My name is Bernd. I have been teaching Fusion for quite a few years. You may have come across my YouTube tutorials or other training courses. I am also a Blackmagic Design certified trainer for Fusion, also for the color page in DaVinci Resolve. But Fusion is really my main thing and focus of this course. You may have heard it from my accent. I am originally from Germany, from Cologne. Currently, I'm living at the Red Sea coast of Saudi Arabia and recording this course from here. Wherever you are in the world, say hello in the comments below this video, let us know, and welcome. Let me tell you a bit more about this course. I am working through 10 chapters of this course, which basically follow a curriculum like you may find it in a compositing book or in a compositing degree program. So these are kind of the classical topics. How do I extract an image, rotoscoping, keying? How do I combine an image, merging, integration, different topics of matching, and then going to the more advanced topics, going towards tracking for movement, camera tracking, up to 3D compositing, integrating 3D elements, working with render passes. So this is quite an extensive set of topics, and in each of these lessons I really want to systematically build those foundations. So I'm not chasing the most awesome effects in the fastest way possible. I'm also not trying to bombard you with the most fancy Fusion tools, but I'm really trying to work on these foundations step by step. In the beginning of this course, I'm starting with some workspace setup and image fundamentals. Now, this is the most theoretical lesson of this course, and you can choose to take it in steps or take it a bit later. You can get quite far without understanding those basics, but I believe that sooner or later, if you skip it completely, you may hit a wall and may struggle with topics that you would understand and grasp otherwise. So I feel it's important to include those topics in a course such as this, and this is why I'm not avoiding it, even if the topics may be a bit drier than the actual work of compositing. From chapter 4 onwards, then the actual Fusion work begins, starting with rotoscoping, where I want to show you how you can really extract the human shape and how to really put those rotosplines so that they look convincing and that you can still manage the workload if that's what you have to do. Then I go towards keying, so all about extracting foreground from background, and then integration. I have separated out the integration and compositing because on a certain level it doesn't matter if your foreground was extracted from rotoscoping or from keying or is being rendered from a 3D application. There are certain techniques about matching color, about matching shadows, about edge manipulations and so on, which are somewhat independent of this and which we can discuss together in one chapter. Then there will be an extensive chapter about tracking, point tracking, planar tracking, 3D camera tracking, and I will discuss the different things you can do if your first tracking attempt fails and how you can get the best out of the footage, what scenarios can be tracked, what cannot be tracked. So you will get a good foundation in tracking as well, before I then, towards the end, go into full 3D and even work with render passes from a 3D application. Not everyone in this class may be doing this. Maybe you are working with 3D applications, maybe you are sticking to 2D, and that's okay, but you will see some of the techniques and you can apply some of them either inside of Fusion or with the help of external software if that's the workflow that you are doing. Finally, I have 3 case studies for you, and there the idea is to put everything into working knowledge and just work through a shot in an efficient and successful way and put some of the different techniques from different chapters together into practice. I do need to draw the line somewhere of what I include in this course and what not. So one thing which I'm not explicitly dealing with is motion graphics. As a motion graphic artist, you would of course highly benefit from compositing skills, but I'm not going into motion graphics examples in this course. Also, I am not dealing with particles, compositing particles maybe, but I will not talk about particle systems and particle simulations itself. That would be outside the scope. In the 3D area, I am using 3D, of course, with the camera tracking, with projections, but I will not go into a very detailed discussion of 3D materials, shading, 3D lighting, and so on. So the compositing aspect, yes, the parts we do in Fusion, yes, but this will not like replace a full 3D education as you may get it when you're purely studying 3D. I hope this all sounds good to you. Please keep in mind that you are not alone in this course, so if you are stuck at any point, if anything is unclear, use the comments under each lesson and you can get support both from me, from other learners, and you may find it interesting what other people are discussing and have questions about. If you prefer, you can also reach out to me via email. Either way, I'll do my best to support you. Sometimes I can take 1-2 days to respond, but I'll try my best to get back to you quickly. So once again, thanks for joining and enjoy the course.